Howdy and aloha. Welcome to Manaka. The earth and you are ohana. We hope you stay and talk.
Howdy and aloha, everyone. This is James with Montauk. So Clay Higgins, if you know who that is, I think he's a Louisiana House Representative, Senator, something, Republican, came out and said, maybe I should just play it. He was, revealing some stuff that was going on with the with January 6th. And, I should have had it ready. But anyway, let me see if I got it here real quick. Clay Higgins. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Maybe. UAP transparency, no. Maybe it was. Yeah, by the way, Mehdi Hassan gets demoted, or they're kicking him out. It's like it freaking matters. It has to be. Yeah, I think it's here. Let me get rid of that commercial. Hey, by the way, thanks for being here. If you're here, you're listening, I appreciate it. Yeah, there's. I was on the phone with a friend earlier, and a few people. There's some really weird stuff happening everywhere, but I'm just gonna play what Clay is. Now, this is a serious accusation. You're basically to just let me put this in context, or just kind of give you the rundown. There's the release. Let me go back a little bit more. So Kevin McCarthy never released the J6 tapes as he said he would. He didn't do a lot of things as he said he would. Remember, he's a young globalist of the World Economic Forum. As you saw here, these people, if you dig deep enough, we won't finish. That's where I've been. I was this guy. I had a sidekick that kind of helped me out here, but I don't know. Hopefully she's doing well. Let's look into the World Economic Forum stuff. Let's look into that, right? And then as you dig deeper and deeper, it's holy shit, it's just never ending. It's really never ending. And I think people like Clay Higgins, I know that Benny Johnson's just sick of their shit. I am too. As I've said, and I'm going to say it, and I've said it since mid-2020, these are the people that are creating the chaos pretty much everywhere. The confusion, the chaos, the destruction, everything. It all goes through this Amway convention, a.k.a. World Economic Forum. If you're a member of, if you're anywhere at all related to them, in any way, you are a global terrorist. Period. I don't know what else to tell you. Because they help, or the money they have, and the influence they have, and the resources they have is beyond comprehension. If you knew the amount, well, most people don't even know what $1 trillion is. Stack it up into dollar bills, you could probably reach Mars with that. Just let you know. That's how much money there is. And they've got a lot of it. And they not only have the money, they have the influence. They have people behind them. They have people that they've blackmailed. They've had people that they've coerced. They have people that they've framed. They've set up. They've got it well penned. Epstein Island is you guys are going to see, it's connected to them. They're part of it. They needed a way to get people. I just had a Mars ice cream bar. Oh my God, Snickers ice. Very bad. And they find ways to get you in their club, whether you like it or not. And they've been doing this for a long time, and they are a part of this democratic system that's happening right now. The ultimate takedown of this country. Now, I don't mind parties going back and forth and this and that and the usual shit, but the Democrats right now, the Democrat, they're all in with the World Economic Forum and their agenda, which everyone should be terrified of. They've done everything that Klaus and Yuval Harari and Trudeau's and Bill Gates and Soros. Goodbye, Kissinger. Goodbye. Just that's all I can say. Goodbye. And he's probably got a clone somewhere who fucking anyway. But Representative Clay Higgins drops a bomb on Newsmax over 200 FBI agents embedded within crowd of J6. FBI agents behind talk of violence in chat groups. Okay. Now I'm going to play this for you, but I want to, like I'm trying to set up here. It's all in the system. These agents are all a part of the Democrats, all a part of the World Economic Forum, all a part, more recently Tulsi Gabbard has really exposed her young globalist ties in support of genocide and the crap that's happening in fucking Hamas. Or not Hamas, in Palestine. Right? Which I'm not for. I'm sick of the killing. Really, I just am. Sick of the wars, sick of the killings, sick of the diseases, sick of the bullshit disease, sick of the fucking boo-boo shoe-shot craps that they're giving people. I'm just, it's just enough. And I've had that attitude ever since fucking late 2020 when I tried to warn Jimmy Dore, hey bro, don't take that shit. I spent over $100 fucking in super chat trying to get him to fucking just hold on, just hang on. But whatever. Not everybody is paying attention, right? And again, I'm on my 7th/8th YouTube channel according to community guidelines because I'm an influence operator and all this other shit. But I'm just telling you that the way it is. I'm just making sure that people have a little bit more information than what the mainstream media is giving them and telling them to check themselves before they wreck themselves. Question authority and its sources at every turn. That's what I say. Just find out what's really, talk to the horse's mouth, right? Find out what, there's critical thinking. I'm not a champion of. I can't claim that because I voted for Obama twice, right? I voted for Bush twice. I voted for Reagan, I believe. I voted for Clinton, I believe. And then Trump, I think I voted third party when he was running. I bought the Orange Man Bad thing, which I highly regret. Highly regret at this point. And if you have a different opinion on that, that's up to you. But this guy was cheated. And this entire thing was set up. And Fluvid-19 really helped that. It helped get a guy that supposedly got 81 million votes, and then Trump got 74 million votes. So if that comes out to 155,000 when only 155 million votes, when they're saying the total of votes that they had was 133 million. Is that anybody kind of getting the difference there? Just these people are just nasty motherfuckers. I have never seen such a hellacious group of cultists, and they keep pointing the finger. This is they call the kettle black every fucking day, all week, and twice on Sundays. They call the kettle black. They point the finger right back at they should be doing this all fucking. Yep, we did it. We fucked up everything. We lied. We're the domestic terrorists. That's what they should be saying. We're the riggers. We're the criminals. We're the killers. We're the destroyers. We always have been. Nobody's just realized it yet. Well, just recently I fucking realized it. And I've been wrong. And I'm gonna do whatever I can to make sure we get a third party hopefully into our system, which we need to. But as far as Trump is concerned, he doesn't really, in one of his second to last rally I think he had, he's like, I don't care about the RNC, or the Republican Party. It's not about them. He stated that. It's about you guys. I want to hear fucking, this whole party thing is just wrong. As George Washington adamantly denounced the party system. He said it would be demographically bad for people. It would be polarizing. Hopefully in the future, if we have a real democracy, is nobody has to register as a Republican, nobody has to register as a Democrat. Everybody that legally is born or came here legally and is a legal, viable citizen of the United States over the age of 18 can vote. I can vote, And then as far as getting the candidates, start out with 20 or 30. A year prior, at least a year prior. Put them up all on the stage, right? And don't, there's the transparency, the fairness, the monitoring, there's just so much that needs to be cleaned up in our entire system. It's just really bad right now. So I could do a fucking day and a half show on how fucked up the electoral system is that we have and all that other stuff. But for now, Trump deserves to be in. It was stolen from him. Let's watch this. Now, for this guy, let me just show you. Now, Clay Higgins, for him to even come out and say this, you need to understand that's a serious allegation. You don't say that type of allegation, or you don't throw that laid claim, or you don't put out that type of conclusion to the world, for the world to see, not just the United States, without having anything to back it up. That would just be idiotic, which MSNBC and CNN has been doing for a long time. Even Fox has done that. Okay, but you've got either you lost your mind and you're about to lose your position, and or something's happening. Maybe you're in hospice. I don't know, something bad, whatever. Or you have receipts. You have the solid, documented, videotaped proof. Now, what I have said in here is that there are hundreds of people, maybe even thousands, that are raking through this 44,000 hour amount of J6 tapes. Not just from the capital area, but across the street, different buildings, body cams, all kinds of stuff. And they're finding a lot of these guys have earpieces, little plastic earpieces and microphones and all this. It doesn't mean that that's them, right? But they're also identifying these people because you don't think that the House of Representatives or the grand old party does not have access to who was employed in the FBI. I'm sure they have that. They have that information. If they have that, who were their assets? Who was on the payroll for that day? Whether they were there or not. They have access to that. So they will look for this person. If they get that face, match. They can do a facial scan, however they want to do it. But for him to say 200 means they fucking have it. Clay Higgins doesn't fuck around. This guy is serious. Right? He's a good old boy. He doesn't fuck around. Fuck around, find out. I'm in Missouri now. What the fuck? All right, so let's play this guy. All right.
Higher allegation and show you all the evidence for it. Clay Higgins, let's go.
Yeah, I was not only involved in the actions on January 6th from within. They had, I suspect, over 200 agents embedded within the crowd, including agents, or as they would call human assets, was not only involved in the actions on January 6th from within. They had, I suspect, over 200 agents within. They had, I suspect, over 200 agents embedded within the crowd, including within. They had, I suspect, over 200 agents embedded within the crowd, including agents, or as they would call human assets, inside the Capitol, dressed as Trump supporters, before the doors were opened. Beyond that, the FBI had embedded themselves and infiltrated online chat groups and websites and social media accounts across the country with any group that was discussing objections to COVID oppression. And social media accounts across the country with any group that was discussing objections to COVID oppression, objections to COVID oppression, and objections to COVID oppression.
That's an interesting term as well. Okay, so they were spotting. So he's saying all these people. That's there's more to it, but that's pretty much all you need to know. So this guy's, he and others are throwing their careers on the line. You don't do something, you don't say in public something like that unless you can back it up, because you're going after the Federal Bureau of Investigation. I mean, you're not, I wouldn't say going after, but you're exposing. You're exposing what happened. Now, if this is the case, and as I said, he has all this documentation information, and I do know there are people just going through every hour by hour by hour, or minute by minute by minute, second by second by second, to find these people and who they are and pinning them. I highly recommend. And if you're listening, asset people, you need to come forth. Because if you hide behind Pedo Joe and Drunken Nancy, they're not going to help you. They're not going to help you. Now, if you're following orders and you were given orders to do this, I get it. I was in the military. I get it. Right? Whatever reason they gave you, but for you, but it is that, this is that moment. This is that moment when you can actually have some integrity, have some strong moral fiber. You know, whether you're religious or not, you know, or whether, you know, be a good person, a decent man, a decent woman. Yes, you can. Yeah, if you want the number, I can give you the number. But let me finish my thing. The hurricane. I like that. The hurricane. All right. So in regards to Clay Higgins coming out, in regards to him throwing out these numbers, in regards to him saying COVID oppression, which everybody knows, as we look back at it, it wasn't that long ago. People are forgetting most of it, by the way. The cognitive dissonance is just fucking forever. Right? It's just freaking forever. But I find it extremely interesting. Extremely, extremely interesting that at this point, nobody's really rebutting that. I haven't seen anybody on MSNBC saying that's bullshit. I haven't seen anybody on CNN saying it's bullshit. People are just not touching it. That's an indicator. That's a definite indicator. Let me jump over here and kind of show you what I need you guys to be concerned about as well. So we're going to change some gears here. We're going to move to something else. But I think it's important that you guys understand that the shit is hitting the fan, but it's not really going anywhere. So a lot of people are still like, come on, man, we'll fucking do something. Anything. Can you put one person in jail, for God's sake? Just one. That's all we need is one. Can you just put one person in jail? How about just one? Right? Can you put one person in jail? We'd really just like one person in jail. I don't know why this keeps going like that. I'm going to stop it. I'm going to jump over here. You know, the COVID depression, I feel really sorry for a lot of people. Yeah, if you want the number, I'll give you the number. Just let me know in the comments. By the way, I will have a conversation with you before you come on. Just to bet, just to make sure, because I've had people on here that have showed their stuff. I mean, a few years ago, this one guy came on. He was just, and then some other people. Some crazy shit's happened. Yeah. So right now, this is where we're at. Okay, Clay. Okay, Matt Gates. Okay, MTG. You know, trying to get that impeachment going. Good. Keep it going. Don't stop, because you're weeding out the rhinos. People don't understand what MTG is really doing. She's weeding out the rhinos, the rye piglicans. That's what she's doing. Every time she puts that out for a vote, whoever doesn't go with it, they know, you're a fucking rhino. Bye-bye. Right? And she's exposing people that way. Because she knows that not everybody's going to fucking go out and go with this, because a lot of people are embedded to what I've said to these people. The World Economic Forum. Right? To these fuckers right here. Here they are. That's what they're about. I don't care what you say. Just throw it up there. Right? And they're all together. It's all a big club. It's a big club and you ain't it. Right? The G20, the G7, Bilderberg, Council on Foreign Relations in, World Health Organization, BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street, Fidelity, CDC, NIH, they're all in it. They're all in it. Right? All in with this crap. And it's just interesting. I find it just extremely alarming and interesting at the same time that there are people out there that really don't understand. That really don't understand what's going on and have really a clue of what's happening. So I find it extremely odd and interesting. Extremely odd and extremely interesting. All right. So if you want to come in, just let me know in the chat. You're welcome to speak. The hurricane, you're obviously not from around here. Or are you? Let me see here. Duty.
We have lost objective F.
Been on YouTube since 2017. You don't have a lot of. You've done a few videos. Oh, you play Battlefield. Oh, I play Battlefield. I like Battlefield. I play Call of Duty, Battlefield. I'm now playing Starship or Starfield. That's fun. That's a cool game, man. I like that game. Something about you before you come in. Let's see what we got here. What's this? Live stream off. I don't know. I think you're trying to do a show or something. You don't have any lives. I guess that's you right there. That's Battlefield. When was that? That was 2 years ago. I was playing back then 2 years ago. Let's see. I'm just kind of checking you out, man. Yeah, you're not nothing political, nothing too crazy. It doesn't seem like you're from the United States. Oh, okay. Where you from, bro? All right, I'll give you the number. Hang on, I gotta grab the number. Let me grab the number. Is it this one? Hang on. Copy invitation. I'm not really quick on this stuff, so I'm still kind of working on it. Wait, where is it? Right here? Right there? Right here? Right there? Okay, here we go. I think this is the right stuff. Meeting ID. I gotta give you the right number, so because there's different numbers for different areas. Where are you at? If you don't mind me asking. Oh, you're in PA? I'm from PA, Pennsylvania. Nice. Right, I think I got that. It's the East Coast number I gotta use here. Oh, what the crap is going on there? Yeah, let me get out of here. Get back into this. Alright, here. I'm going to give you... Have you been on Zoom before? Or do you have a Zoom account? I think it would be this one. New York. Give you the passcode. I think there's a meeting ID. Oh, but you live in Florida? Okay, oh wait. Almost there. What is going on here? Oh, there it is. Oh wait, here's the number. And then there's a, let me know if it asks for a passcode or a meeting ID, or both. I haven't done this in forever. So anyway, it's interesting how my brain is flipped. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Do you want this to keep going in the direction that it's going? Because I believe that they should have shut the country down. Like, you can't let these people have any more time with this country. It's like they've promised the world over and over again. Look, I used to be there. All right, they're going to raise the minimum wage. All right, they're going to Roe versus. All right, they're going to do this. They're going to do that. Never did. They haven't done anything. The only thing they brought was the Affordable Care Act, and at that point, they had 76 days of the supermajority. In 2008, 9-ish, right? They had the supermajority of the House and the Senate and Obama. And what they brought was the Affordable Care Act. And you know how good that's gone. Right? Have you seen the deductible? What the deductible and the copays are for Obamacare? Does anybody? It's terrible. It's terrible. That's the number, but let you know if you need the passcode. I don't know if it's a passcode and the code. I gotta look that up. Yeah, all that. They haven't given you anything. I haven't got anything. Nothing's changed. Everything's the same. Except for the country's gotten worse. They're at close to 8 million people that are coming in through the southern border. Most of those, a good majority of those people, we don't really know what they're doing and why they're here. Right? That's just insane. The average amount of people that have come in through the past few decades is about 600,000 per year. Per year. In just a matter of 3 years, there's almost 8 million that have come in to this country. And I'm just saying, we've made so many friends across the planet, especially in the Middle East. Why wouldn't you be worried? That's all good. None of those people want to hurt us. Right? There's none of those countries we've bombed, destroyed, turned to rubble in the past couple centuries. None of those. There are people out there right now that chant they want this country to go down. I get it. I was in the Navy. I'm very patriotic. I'm a constitutionalist for sure. I just believe that right now they're just setting up the pins for something really horrific, and it's perfect timing because most of it's going to come down next year, before or right around. Oh, that's a phone number. You're not from here. That's a phone number, bro. You're not from here, man. Where are you from? Are you from South Africa or where? Where are you from, Hurricane? Yeah, you're not from here, bro. How long have you lived in the United States? Yeah, I'm really close to booting you because you're not really passing the vetting test here, bro. And I've looked at your website. You really look as though you're not from here. And you could be somebody that's just here to just fuck around with people. And I don't have time for that. There's too much at stake. You got a battlefield montage, right? I see your picture. I see the background. That doesn't look like it's fucking the United States, bro. Definitely that doesn't look like it's and let's make it bigger. You're an American dude. Is that you right there? Who's that? You know. That's a meme? Oh. Yeah. Alright. So what's your first name? Go ahead and talk to me here. What's going on? What's your first name? Kane? Hurricane? Yeah, that's enough. Alright. I'm an American dude. I'm an American dude. Yeah, that's funny. That was a good one. Yeah, I'm sorry, bro. That doesn't. Nah. I'm an American dude. All right, let's get back on track here. Yeah, so that's where everybody's at. Just letting you know. Sorry, I had a little itch in my ear. We are at this place. Everybody's here, and whoever it is. And I'm hoping, I am hoping it'll be Trump. I know people are like, well, could you even fucking say that? I am going to say this right now. And it has nothing to do with, and this is what Jimmy used to say, and I used to say it, a lot of us used to say it. We are at the precipice, people. We need to find out, you know, if all that was bullshit. I mean, look at Russiagate. I want you to understand Russiagate, number one. So that turned out to be totally false. So if they were completely wrong about that, what else were they wrong about? What else did they make up? Doesn't that make sense? If they were completely wrong about a lot of things, then why would you believe them now? That's what's interesting. All right? That's what's kind of getting to me is. Hang on. Yeah. Why is this even doing this? And that's it. I'm done. Yeah, oh, I think he's on there. Have you heard of Jay Dre? I don't know. Listen, it's real simple. Clay Higgins, right now, right? Clay Higgins is on a mission. That man doesn't seem like he's not somebody I don't think you want to fuck around with. He's not going to say something that isn't there. He's that kind of person. He's that kind of. I've followed him for a few years now, And this man does not fuck around. He doesn't. He's stern to the T. Stern. Right? He's done. Yeah, man, that wasn't working out, Hurricane. Bye-bye. The thing that I'm just saying, we've got to do something. Actions need to be taken. So, and they're watching. Right now, we're watching DeSantis and.
Sean, you're even
I'm
uncomfortable
asking,
with this whole issue. And
I watched
understand
your.
it.
I watched
This is
your,
where you guys have
I'm
to
asking,
go to cover for the extreme
should there be,
anti-abortion agenda of Ron DeSantis.
should there be,
who's hurt your
would
party.
you support a ban on abortion
just
in
answered the
7th, 8th, or 9th month
I just answered
if
the question.
if the mother's life is
It is
not in jeopardy?
extreme exception. People aren't going on and having abortions.
Should it be illegal then?
Unless something
If it's rare,
devastating has happened.
should it be
Why is
illegal?
this
Be up
even
to the
happening?
mother
I
and her
honestly don't understand
doctor
why you
and her
just can't
conscience.
say-
And it
So the
almost
answer is no
always,
restriction.
I've already answered it.
Fuck.
And I'll just
restriction.
reinforce it. To cover
Is that even happening? So Gavin Newsom and Ron DeSantis, even though they're having a debate on Fox, does anybody see what's happening? This has nothing to do with this. This has absolutely. Yeah, this has nothing to do. So what I stated, yeah, Trump's got 81 in this. Look at this. Look at the poll here. Who's winning, DeSantis, Newsom, or Trump? Yeah, this has nothing to do. What I stated in here is pretty much basically what's happening. Right? This has nothing to do. This has absolutely nothing to do with the debate. It's publicity, advertising, and narrative to attempt to put Trump in the back seat. Lame. That's what it is. I don't, whatever these people say, it doesn't, they're what the establishment, the New World Order, the World Economic Forum, they want these two people. This is obvious. They're not giving them this platform without Trump being there or without Biden being there. It's like they're having a presidential debate. And they're not even close to winning or in the race. This is about exposure. That's what this is. All this is about exposure. This has nothing, absolutely nothing to do. Lou has got some great stuff. I love Lou, this guy over here. I forgot his name, but I watch him too. I've subscribed to both of these guys. They're good. They're good men. And I see what they're doing. They want to see what's going on, but honestly, what this is, and they know that. They know this. They're not. See, they think you're stupid. They think and believe that you're a retard. Right? They think that you're a derelict like John Fetterman, or at high stage dementia like Pedo Joe. But you're not. They put this out, and Fox is doing this to help them. Fox is fucking bought and sold. You guys should know that already. There's some good stuff that comes out of Fox every once in a while, but when it comes down to it, you know who their masters are. Here's the biggest thing people don't understand about Trump. The biggest thing that people don't understand about Trump is he doesn't need your fucking money. He doesn't need you. He doesn't need anything. He doesn't need to do any of this. He doesn't need to do any of this. He can just ride off in the sunset with all his properties and everything that he's done. and not be touched at all. But once he said he's running, they're going after him. Because he's not in the club. Because he's not meek and malleable and obedient. Yes, he's a little naive sometimes. I fucking know that. It pisses people off. I get it. Right? Somebody showed a tape video of me on my Facebook the other day. And I think this Lou's great. He's got some good stuff. You gotta watch Lou. You gotta watch this other guy. He's got some good stuff too. But it was something. It was about a ceremony that Trump attended like 8 years ago, maybe even 9 or 10 years ago, where he attended this gala or something and presented these awards or something to Hillary and Clinton. And there was a relationship there. Let's not say that never happened, because it happened. These people palled around together, right? We know that Hillary's daughter, Chelsea Clinton, hung around with Ivanka Trump, and they used to play around together. Now, we don't know how close that relationship was. We don't know. We don't know if they were just golf buddies or if they were out doing, medieval times crazy shit that we've heard that Hillary does and Huma does together upon human beings. Right? We don't know how close they are in that relationship. We do know that Trump has associated with many politicians. We do know that Trump has been in and around the White House many times and was the president, which he was just as surprised as most of us were at the time. But I remember when that happened, I was just like, just watching Rachel Maddow just fucking break down was just wonderful. It was wonderful. For her to fucking ball, just to lose it like that. It was glorious. People at CNN just lost it. It was wonderful. But yeah, this event here that's happening, and I could probably get it up somewhere here. Let me find out if I can. This Newsom versus DeSantis. Right? It's here. Oh, look, there it is. Newsom, that was 46 minutes ago. Okay. Let's see here. If they show a little bit of it. Yeah. That's all that was. That's just publicity. You get to help boost them up. Joe's going. He's going to go to jail. He's well, if that is Joe, or something's going to happen to him. He doesn't know a lot, but he knows enough where he can be really, if you know too much, if you're on the Democratic side, you're fucked. I'm just telling you. Maybe that could be the case with Tulsi Gabbard. I think she just knows too much. She's worried about that her and Mahdi and their support for and their hate, visceral hate for Muslims. I know that Indian and the Muslims had a lot, don't have a great past, but there are still a lot of Muslims that live in India. There's a lot of them live in the United States. There's 16 million Jews, and there's 1.6 billion Muslims in the world. I'm just telling you, this is not a fight you really want to keep going. It's just going to end in bloodshed after bloodshed after family after family after bloodshed after child after this, that. That's enough. I've had enough, honestly. But this right here, this is just freaking publicity. Major publicity for these guys. They're nowhere close. Yeah, so by putting Newsom out in a debate with DeSantis, without Trump, without Biden, how backwards is this anyway? This is just ass fucking backwards. Everything has just gone in the completely crazily wrong direction. Right? It's just been nuts. Now we have presidential candidates from two different parties that are having prime time exposure that aren't even near or close to being in the polls, high enough in the polls. You see what they're marketing these guys? This is a marketing tactic. Back, just And I'm mad at myself for voting for Obama twice. I'm just telling you. A lot of people are mad at themselves. Yeah, it's going to be Trump. You got to vote for Trump because he's the only person that's going to be able to do anything. But I want the House of Representatives to start putting people in jail. I want this shit to start. I want this World Economic Forum crap to stop, like I've always been saying. I'm really sick of their bullshit. And I just want the puppets to get out of the fucking... I want all these puppets that are still embedded in our Congress, in our Capitol. I want them out. The people that are still pawns and employees, very well paid employees of the World Economic Forum. You have no idea. Yeah. Yeah, sorry that the hurricane, that wasn't working out. First of all, you asked, is that a password? That's clearly an American phone number. So I'm sorry, bro. Something's a little off there. Right? I don't know how you got here, but when you said, is that the password, when that clearly is a phone number of the United States of America, you're not in the United States of America. Okay? I don't know how the fuck you found this show or who you're working for, but I booted you. Yeah, and a lot of that stuff that you pulled up, I can prove I'm American. It's like somebody from a different country saying, I don't know how I can prove I'm an American. It's not letting me join. That's a meme. No, that's you. That's why you put your picture on there. And that sure in the hell isn't Florida in the background. Yeah, goodbye. Bye-bye now. Anyway, this is what we need to be concerned about, the influence of the World Economic Forum. Everybody thinks it's just this guy or that guy or this person. They're all together. It's all together. There's a fucking bunch of them. I'm going to show you what the hell I'm talking about. So you'll know what the fuck is really going on. Okay? Because this guy right here is going to tell you. Jim Rickards. He's going to tell you what's happening.
Dinner companion that night was a senior advisor to BlackRock. As you may know, BlackRock is now the largest asset manager on the planet. It directly manages $5 trillion in assets, and it oversees another $11 trillion through its Aladdin platform. That means one firm controls more money than the GDPs of China, Russia, and Japan combined. Anyway, my dinner companion happens to work directly for BlackRock's CEO. As we nursed our white wine in the evening war, the GDPs of China, Russia, and Japan combined.
Do you even understand how immense that is and the power that holds? People they don't see $1 trillion as really being a lot. And it's amazing to me. To me, $10,000 is a lot of fucking money. Right? I still think that way.
Anyway, my dinner companion happens to work directly for BlackRock's CEO. As we nursed our white wine and the evening wore on, she let something slip. If I remember her words, she said something like, "They want to tell us we can't sell." What was she talking about? Who was she talking about? I placed a few calls, first to my contacts in Washington, then to a few people on Wall Street. Soon I was on a plane for a series of meetings to London, to Geneva, back to New York, then down to South America. As I began connecting the dots, a pattern emerged. It revealed a network of more than 189 individuals positioned inside the world's major financial institutions. Some of them hold senior positions inside the IMF, World Bank, and every central bank in the G20, including our own Federal Reserve. These elites share one vision, and they're about to make it a reality. That vision is one world order, one world taxation, and one world money. They've worked for years behind the scenes preparing to realize that vision. They've literally rigged the laws of international finance. Everything is basically in place right now. and there's essentially no way to stop this from happening. When the crisis hits, they'll flip the switch, freezing the global financial system. That will give them time to reset the world economy according to their vision. As the coming crisis unfolds, President Trump will be powerless to stop it. In fact, trying to stop them would probably weaken the president's power altogether.
That is amazing, Jim, really. So what did these elites want from your contact at BlackRock?
Basically, they want to classify BlackRock as too big to fail. The technical term is Systemically Important Financial Institution, or SIFI. That designation normally applies to banks, such as Bank of America. If your bank gets the SIFI label, it means the government will bail you out first in a crisis. But it also means you must turn over control of your bank until the crisis subsides. In this case, they're trying to reclassify BlackRock, an asset manager, as too big to fail. If they succeed, they'll be able to freeze BlackRock when the crisis hits. BlackRock clients won't be able to sell. They won't be able to buy either. Their accounts will go dark indefinitely. And the elite operatives will take control of BlackRock's assets remotely via the internet. But our research shows that their ICE 9 plan goes much, much deeper than that.
Now, you refer to
ICE 9 plan.
their plan as ICE 9. You just said that. What does that mean?
It's a reference to the Kurt Vonnegut novel, Cat's Cradle. In the book, a mad scientist creates a new form of water molecule called ICE 9. When it comes in contact with other water molecules, it freezes them at room temperature. One drop of ICE 9 can freeze the whole ocean. And that's what these elite operatives are about to do to the world economy.
Now, can you share with our viewers exactly who these operatives are and what their ultimate goal might be?
Like I said, John, more than 189 elite agents have slowly wormed their way into leadership positions across the board. They now sit at or near the head of the IMF, the World Bank, and even our own Federal Reserve. They also control much of what happens at the central banks of China, Russia, India, Brazil, Canada, and Europe. As you know, these institutions form a kind of global superstructure. It forms a kind of snare net encircling all nations. Their leaders aren't democratically elected. They're not accountable to you and me. They're beyond the reach of government and citizens, and yet they hold the fate of the global financial system in their hands. To get a sense of how they operate, imagine an array of floating spheres. One sphere is labeled IMF, one is labeled Fed, one is labeled Bilderberg, one is labeled Wall Street, one is labeled central banks, one is labeled intelligence agencies, one is labeled media, and so on. The elites inhabit all of these spheres, and together the network forms a kind of 3D Venn diagram. As I see it, regardless of what sphere they inhabit, the elites all share the same vision: one world order, one world taxation, and one world money. All of their actions are geared toward moving that agenda forward.
Now, are you able to share the identities of these elites with our viewers?
We've identified more than 189 individuals who are in many cases hiding in plain sight. Regardless, they all share the same vision: one world order, one world taxation, and one world money. A short list would include Christine Lagarde, Managing Director of the International Monetary Fund, IMF; Mark Carney, Governor of the Bank of England; Raghuram G. Rajan, Vice Chairman of the Bank for International Settlements; Haruhiko Kuroda, Governor of the Bank of Japan; William C. Dudley, President of the Federal Reserve Bank of New York; Agustin Carstens, Governor of the Bank of Mexico; Janet Yellen, Chairman of the Board of the Federal Reserve System; Mario Draghi, President of the European Central Bank; Zhu Min, former Deputy Managing Director of the IMF; Zhou Xiuquan, Governor of the People's Bank of China; Robert E. Rubin, Chairman of the Council on Foreign Relations. This A-list of central bankers and other elites is just the tip of the iceberg. Of course, not one of these elites will tell you outright what's going on, but I've seen and heard enough to connect the dots for myself. Not long ago, for example, I met with one of their senior operatives. He's a leading economist who served as the chairman of the Federal Reserve during the last crisis. He's considered one of the most influential minds in banking today. We met privately during a conclave in Seoul, South Korea. Of course, I'm talking about Ben Bernanke. I came away from my meeting with him stunned and convinced that ICE 9 was real. Not long before that, I set up a one-on-one meeting with another member of the network. His name is Zhu Min, the former deputy governor of China's central bank. Until recently, he served as deputy managing director of the International Monetary Fund. Zhu is a brilliant guy, like Bernanke, and he's pleasant and well-meaning. There's no doubt in my mind that he's also a member of the elite network preparing to impose ICE 9 on millions of Americans. But I wasn't done with my research. I have since met with dozens of senior officials, intelligence analysts, and former Wall Street colleagues. My quest led to a final meeting, a face-to-face summit with the head of Bilderberg. We met at Rockefeller Center in Manhattan, and he was very eager to get my take on the euro as a currency. I was happy to provide it, of course, in exchange for some valuable intelligence. As I say in my new book, he did not have horns. In fact, he gave me a nice gift when we parted ways, a blue Swedish vase. I keep it in my writing studio at my home in Connecticut. But my point is, I came away from all three meetings convinced of one thing. When the next crisis hits, the elites are planning to freeze the financial system, and they'll replace it with a new system, one not based on the U.S. dollar, When that happens, we'll wake up to a very strange and disturbing new reality.
And for our viewers that are watching today, what might their reality look like that morning? How does this manifest?
First, they'll have gone to bed knowing that a massive financial crisis was underway. But when they wake up, they'll find it has worsened and the contagion has spread worldwide. When they go to withdraw money, their ATM will say, closed temporarily. When they go to sell stocks, their account will say, transaction not available. When they go to their local business, that business will only accept cash if it's open. As citizens realize they're being barred from their money, riots will erupt. It's going to get really bad really quickly.
How would such a freeze actually work? And wouldn't that be highly illegal?
Well, it wouldn't be illegal technically because they've been quietly laying the groundwork for years. They've rigged the financial laws, changed the rules of the game to allow this to happen. The stage is set. They have the levers in place. The lights are positioned. Now someone just needs to flick a switch and they'll impose Ice 9 rapidly. And again, all of this will be legal because they've rigged the system in their favor. Here in the U.S., for example, Congress pushed through something called the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, or IEPA. This allows the government to freeze accounts, assets, even whole institutions at will. The only condition is that there's some threat to national security with a foreign connection. Of course, with a global market, every financial crisis has a foreign connection. Any systemic crisis fits the bill. And the thing is, when the next crisis hits, it's going to be so bad, President Trump won't have any choice but to go along with the elite's plan.
Wow, that is, you have to admit, that sounds somewhat hard to believe. Now, how could these operatives actually freeze a whole country's financial system?
Well, fortunately, we have some recent real-life examples to study. The elites have been conducting a series of dry runs for years, leading up to Ice 9. Look at Cyprus, for example. A few years ago, the Cypriot economy was in trouble, especially the banks. The IMF stepped in and loaned Cyprus $10 billion, but the loan came with strings. Now pay attention because this is precisely what they're going to do, but imagine it on a global scale. So in exchange for the capital injection, the IMF demanded control over the Cypriot banking system. More specifically, the IMF froze the entire system, literally every bank in the country. And they did that to ensure the IMF's demands were met, including strict capital controls. So how did all of this impact regular citizens? Their local ATMs went dark. Even the bank branch was closed, permanently in some cases. Citizens could not withdraw cash. They couldn't even transfer funds from one account to the other. What came next? Wealth extraction on a grand scale. The IMF basically stole 6 to 10% of all the cash in the Cypriot bank accounts. How did the elites justify this? They called it a levy, the price regular citizens had to pay for their government's missteps. Keep in mind, these asset confiscations were done at the balance sheet level with the institutions themselves. They never had to confiscate individual accounts. They froze every account by controlling a handful of the country's biggest banks. When the next crisis hits, we're going to see this here in the U.S. and around the world, and it'll be a highly coordinated global attack on the entire system simultaneously.
Yeah. So that guy's name, I gotta stop this before it goes.
I was having dinner with...
He had to read that because he's not like the greatest speaker, but we're talking to Jim. His name is Jim Rickards. And I've actually had a couple of questions for him on, or was it on Twitter, I think it was? Let's see if he's in here. Oh, my old account. My old account got shut down because I said the word hung in regards to Pedo Joe. Yeah, here it is right here. Former Threat Advisor, White House aide, Pentagon, Jim Rickards, yeah. Everybody's put this video up. People know of this. This was... Somebody put this up on the 27th of November. Somebody did it 4 hours ago. Yeah, people are playing this.
Happening. When the crisis hits, as I see it, when the next crisis hits, the elites are planning...
Sounds some
global attack on the entire...
Yeah, these people know. Central Alt Control Alt Delete. Oh, that's a good name. I'm going to follow these people because they seem to be on the same page. Verica, I'm No Angel. Barber, Friedrich, and there's Jim Rickards in this.
RFK Jr. can run in New Hampshire. Biden won't run because he's a vassal of the DNC. So, and I said a while ago, I said RFK Jr. is in a good position to win the New Hampshire primary. How do you ignore that? Well, what they've now said is that, okay, if New Hampshire goes first or tries to, first they said, any delegates you win will not be seated at the convention. So that was the first thing they said. but in our case, so I'm running anyway. And then they changed it. They said, if you even set foot in New Hampshire before the election, forget about whether you win or not. If you set foot in New Hampshire, all of your delegates will be disqualified. So RFK Jr. is looking at this, and he said, you know what? Who's more Democrat than a Kennedy, right? I mean, his uncle was president, his father was senator, presidential candidate. You know the history of the Kennedys. And he said, but they're doing everything. The other thing, this is a disgrace, man. This is a disgrace. Joe Biden has denied Secret Service protection to RFK Jr.
Yeah, I saw that, and he just, and he
Kennedy was just approached by a guy. He had 2 holsters, both fully loaded, semi-automatic pistols, and a U.S. Marshal's badge, which was stolen, but he had the badge, approaching Kennedy as, security, unfortunately. But Kennedy has to hire private security. They wheeled this guy out and got arrested. After the history of Kennedy family assassinations, now.
That's crazy. Everybody's playing this. I'm already following him. Jim Rickers sold out the books. Let's look at his books. I'm gonna read these. Jim Rickers sold out. Now broken supply chains. New supply chains. He's got his hey Snork password in the same as the number of Hunter Biden's spit painting that you purchased as a ticket to see Joe. I don't know what that means. Possible shutdown, living white lung disease already hitting Ohio. There's nothing hitting anything, dude. Nothing's hitting anything. I Fluvid-19. And, if you want to go get another shot, go get it. But it's baloney. They're creating a ruckus again. I'm just telling you. They're starting again. They're going to do whatever they can to rig this next election. If anybody doesn't agree with me, I have plenty of receipts and tickets and proof to back that up. To definitely back that up. There's nothing happening. Okay, if anything is happening, it's people that are getting sick from, and you know this as well as many people, from the thing you took that you had to take twice, which you should be suing that school right now. Just letting you know, you should be suing that school. Many people are. Many people are jumping on class action lawsuits, and anyway, you should do it singularly against them. Don't say I didn't tell you. That's all I'm saying, bro. Don't say I didn't tell you. White lung bullshit. Anything. It's where are you getting your sources from? The CDC, right? NIH, the same people that sold us the last time. I'm just saying, buddy. Yeah, that's exactly what they're going to do. They want to. They want anarchy. They're going to try to create martial law. Remember, I said that too. I've said that too. They want a lot of crazy shit to happen. But I recommend getting these books. I'm actually going to go get one of these books, by the way, after I get off of here. Thank you, Stark, for being here. I'll be on tomorrow again. I got some interesting stuff to talk about. I'm going to go over something that I think people should know about. I'm going to expose some more of those names that Jim Rickers was talking about, and some of those people in the club. It's about 200 or 300 people actually that are all in with this. If you guys remember that there was a giant exodus of CEOs and high-level management personnel at a lot of various companies, hospitality industry, finance, whether it was oil or coal or whatever, that weren't in, that knew the plan of Agenda 201 or Agenda 21, whatever agenda it is, New World Order, and they said, nope, I'm not a part of it. They don't want to fucking do it. So that's what's going on. So the people that stayed said, yeah, let's fucking do this. The ruthless fucking assholes that stayed. The people that didn't care. Why I'm saying that is because there are people in these institutions, like academia, that knew also. I had Andrew Kaufman on my show. He clearly told and informed us of the process of why most doctors went with this process. There was money to be made. I had reiterated that. I did that in the COVID Stone. I talked about that. They are the narcissists are creating the fire. Yeah, same people. But you should look into that, bro. I would look into that lawsuit. I know you're thinking, no, not right now, but I think it would just be beneficial. You know, there's a lot of people that are doing it now, more so than ever. The media is not talking about it. We're talking hundreds of thousands of people are jumping on this wagon because the wagon makes sense. This train is going in the better direction. People need to be held accountable for forcing or coercing or mandating, which is a violation of our constitutional rights, by the way, to have people take that crap. Yeah, it was ridiculous, dude. Ridiculous. All right. Take care. Thank you for being here. I'll be on tomorrow, probably a little earlier. I am, by the way, I'm doing good on my trade school. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, but hopefully I'm going to pass that test coming up here pretty soon. Aloha to everybody. Good seeing you, Snark. Whoever that guy was, you definitely were not from the United States. It was pretty fucking obvious, bro. Pretty fucking obvious. Yeah, don't come in here throwing bullshit around either, because I don't put up with it. Aloha.